What's up, everyone? You are tuned in to Three Questions of a Song, episode number 120. This is the third episode since I started it back up. With me tonight is Gavin from the band Caught on Sight. What's up, Gavin?
How's it going?
Not too bad. So, Gavin, I'm going to do what I've been doing with the new version of the show, and I'm just going to give you a few minutes to tell us everything you can about the band Caught on Sight.
All right. So Caught on Sight is a punk band from Scottsdale, PA. We all have been playing together since about 2013, but we started getting serious into making originals in 2016. The band consists of me, Gavin, and my two brothers, Hayden and Wylan. Wylan joining only just, 3 years ago now, and my best friend of the last 15 years on bass. So my brother Wylan plays the lead guitar, Hayden drums, and my best friend Robbie plays the bass. And I play rhythm guitar and sing. We actually just released a record called True Colors. It's our sophomore album. It's streaming on all streaming platforms. You can also purchase the record off of the link tree that's in the video.
Linktree / Caught on Sight, SIGHT for that site.
Yeah, we had a lot of people get that wrong. We've had a couple flyers with SITE on it.
I started to type it today when I went to go to the Linktree. I'm like, what are you doing?
I actually still have, we played Mr. Smalls back in 2019, and I still have a ticket stub that says the SITE on it. I kept it because I thought it was funny.
That's is that like a baseball card with the misprint? It's worth more.
Yeah, maybe. Instead of 3 cents, it's worth 4.
All right. So, as I told you, we're sticking to the title of the show. I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and then we're going to talk about your song "Growing Pains."
All right,
and then we'll play it as well so people can hear it. But so, being your second album, what changed in your process from recording the first one to recording the second one?
Oh, literally everything. Because the first record, we had no experience. We did an EP before the first album, and we went to a studio, didn't really know what we were doing, and it really came out kind of more demo-ish than anything. I mean, even our first album still sounds like a demo, but we pretty much just recorded it all in my room, and I didn't know I wasn't an audio engineer or anything like that. So it was kind of me troubleshooting Studio One and throwing it together, where for this record, we went to ABC rehearsal studio, and met up with Corey Muro to record it, which he also recorded our last EP, Spare Change. So, I mean, it's, I guess, really there's a big change between the record or the first album to the second album, and a smaller change between the last EP and this record that we put out. I guess the biggest change for this album is that we recorded to a click, which we've never done before. We've always just recorded live and in the moment, and we wanted to try something different. And I think it really shows on the record. The songs are a lot tighter sounding. And I mean, overall, just our writing process is different now that I have my other brother in the band, Wylan. He contributed a lot of great aspects to this record because he has musical influences that are a little bit different than all of us. I mean, he likes a lot more metal-ish kind of stuff. And I mean, I think you can definitely hear that throughout the record with the solos that he put on. He's actually, in the song that you're going to be showing today, he made the main melody, like the main guitar riff for it. And that song really is kind of the song to me that represents the album the most, and how different it is from our other stuff, because it just shows, I don't know, kind of a different style. We were used to playing fast punk songs and stuff, and a lot of these songs on this record are mid-tempo and almost alternative sounding in a sense.
So, not a question, but you mentioned Corey I'm going to mess his last name up. You mentioned Corey.
Yeah.
And for anyone who's uninitiated, you want to give his stats?
Yeah, Corey plays in the Pittsburgh band Punchline. He's also playing in Lakeview, which is, I think he might be on tour right now with Lakeview, and they've been opening up for bands like Stained, Breaking Benjamin. He's well known in the music scene for sure. He's been around for a long time.
Hey, now say his last name because I can't believe that.
Muro.
Yeah. 4 letters I got tongue tied over today.
He's actually my second cousin. My dad's cousin. So,
all right. Question 2. If you were going to sit down next to your musical idol, kind of like in the movie Forrest Gump, and talk, what conversation you're going to have with your idol, and who's the person that you're sitting with?
That's a tough question because I feel like my musical idols change a good bit over the years. Like, if you would ask me that question years ago, I would have said like Fat Mike of NoFX. But nowadays, I'd say Jeff Rosenstock. And I would just like to know his writing process, because he's had a long career. He's been in several different bands, and he could write the slowest great piece, but he can also write something that's just crazy fast and all over the place. I mean, and he's a multi-instrumentalist, and I'd just be interested in kind of understanding where he starts and how he finishes songs.
So that is a question that I ask on my shows, but today I found out that Chet Hanks, Tom Hanks' son, is in a band, and that he actually, in the video for the one song, he sits down dressed as Forrest Gump next to his dad on a bench.
That's great. I got to see that.
I can't think of the title of the song, but if you search Chet Hanks, and Runner is definitely in the name of the song, but like there are certain parts, like the name of the boat is Jenny, that they're on at one point. So like it definitely tips the hat to Forrest Gump.
I'm definitely going to check that out. That's funny.
All right. Question 3. If you were going to build a supergroup from the music scene with bands that you interact with, what genre would they be playing, and who would be in the band? Now, keep in mind, you cannot be in the band, and neither can anybody else in your current band. And so you're going to manage them. So
from our music scene?
Yep.
I have to think about that.
It's kind of funny that your shirt says no pressure.
Yeah. I don't know about genre, but Tristan Vasco from Mr. Red, we've been playing with him for, I don't know, like pretty much since we started. He'd have to be in there for sure. We just played with this band. They're actually going to be playing a show with them in August. The Source of All, JJ from The Source of All, would be cool to have in the band on vocals. And as for bass, I'm not really sure. I'm going to go with JJ, another JJ, in the band Mocking Others. He's actually in the Honesty Over Guilt music video. He's one of the people at the beginning. He would be playing bass. And as for the genre, I don't know. All different types of genres. I'm going to say smooth jazz.
They're all going to hear this and be like, what? All right, so moving on to the song that we're going to feature tonight, Growing Pains, off of your new album, True Colors. This is your moment to tell all about that song.
All right. Well, I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. That song started out with Weiland with a guitar riff, making it, and immediately it caught my ear. A lot of the time, these songs, especially on this record, we'll just be, jamming around, messing around and stuff, and then like we'll all be playing different stuff sometimes, just screwing around like we always do, and then I'll just hear something, and that was one of those times where I heard him playing that riff, and I'm like, when did you write that? And he was like, oh, I've had it for like a year or two, and I was like, oh. So we started kind of diving into it, and it became what it is. But as for the lyrical sense, which I really didn't kind of touch up on, it has kind of, I guess each verse kind of has different meanings in a sense. I mean, a lot of it while I was writing was in a depressive state of mind. And a lot of it's about kind of getting stuck in your day to day, and it kind of feeling like things aren't changing. You're doing the same things all the time. You're kind of stuck in that little cage that you have. And, you know, whether it be like working 9 to 5, coming home, going to bed, whatever it is, but it's kind of about that and trying to break free, trying to do something different, but being stuck there for so long and not having any ambition, not having the drive to really kind of push yourself to do so. And, you know, it goes into a little bit more about, you know, depression and all that kind of stuff, you know, the sad stuff.
Okay. So before we watch the video, there is one other thing I want to do. I am going to bring up the link tree. Maybe. There it is, slowly. And just point out that you are able to purchase merchandise, check the band out on a lot of social media and streaming services. So again, that's linktree/caught on site, and it's CIGHT. Just want to make sure everybody had a quick view of that.
I also did want to mention too that we have 2 shows coming up. We have one August 16th at Green Beacon Gallery, and we will be playing with, if I can remember correctly, Miss Signs, The Source of All, Gooch, and Before You Leave. I remember it all. And then we also are playing Half Covered Halloween October 17th at 222 Ormsby. And
with some die nameless.
Yeah. I can't quite remember who's all on the bill for that one. I'd have to look. That was set up like a month or so ago. But we're going to be playing Insomniac by Green Day. So
okay, that was going to be my next question. For anyone not familiar with how the half-covered Halloween works, it literally is half a set covering a band and then half a set of your originals.
Yeah, so, yeah, we played last year too. It was a great time. Should definitely try to make it out to either of those shows.
Okay. So what we're going to do now is take a listen or view, depending on how you're partaking in this episode, of the song Growing Pains. Make sure you join us each and every week on BuildtheScene.com and Music from the 412. And we will see you next time. And thanks again for hanging out with me, Gavin.
Yep. Thanks for having me. See ya.